It's really important that you're not doing the same thing over and over again, because if you don't like try out new things, then you're never gonna like figure out what works better. So like a general tip is to like take risks while you're practicing. Like I'll be doing a 6x6 solve and I'll see some like really weird center pattern and I'll be like, I could probably do this really fast with this really weird moveset, and then I try it and then it doesn't work and I'm like, man, that sucked. But good thing I was practicing, so next time I'll be like, don't do that. Or I'll do it and it works. And I'll be like, man, that was so fast. I'm gonna do it in the next solve I get officially and get a 129. Except that hasn't happened yet. So yeah, take a risk while you're practicing. Don't do that in competitions because that's really stupid. That's how you mess up and get really bad times. Yeah, also good tips are like, if you're like hitting the wall, as people like to say, you can like try slow turning. Slow turning really helps your look ahead and stuff, and is really useful, as well as like doing solves where you're not timing, like watch TV, because you know you don't sit around on your butt doing nothing enough already. So like watch TV and do like solves, and then that's like really easy way to like figure out new cool things like taking risks. Yeah, so I'll transition to more specific things now. Like, so the first thing you do on big cubes, if you don't do freeslice, you're wrong. Just do freeslice. If you do yeah, whatever. I guess it's like okay, but it probably can work really well. But I don't know anything about yeah, so. So first thing on big cubes that you do is centers. If you don't do color neutral centers, you're wrong. Stop it. Switch. It's really, really easy. So I was watching Eric Lineback cube yesterday, and he loves big cubes, as he told me. I was watching him do some 5x5 centers, and he was like making 3x1 bars, as you do. And I saw him he had a centerpiece, and they had two edge pieces, and he matched one, and then he like reassessed, and then he matched the other one. And I was like, whoa, what are you doing there, buddy? So it's always very important if you're making like bars in the 5x5 center, that you always look for, you want to like do you want to scan the cube for an entire step at a time. So like, you don't build centered like bars like 1 piece, 2 piece, and then 3 piece. Like you see all 3 pieces, and then you figure out what moves you need to do. And then you do those moves, and then you have the whole bar, and then you put it in. Like it's really inefficient. This is the same for 6 and 7. Mostly 6. 7, it's hard to like, if you're making bars on 7x7, it's kind of tricky to find 5 pieces and put them all together in one set. 6x6 though, it's like really easy to find all 4, because usually they're grouped up kind of nicely. So it's really important to like find all the pieces and then do your moves. Yeah, specifically on 7-5, yeah, also, so 5x5, there aren't too many center styles. Like, you can make your bars, which everyone mostly does, or you can make like a 2x1, and then a 2x2, and then like a 2x3, and then a 3x3. That's like pretty situational, like, that's pretty intuitive as well. Like, there's not too many tricky things with 5x5 centers, so like, yeah. 6x6 is like crazy, you can do everything, like, so most of everyone does like bars only. Like sometimes they build like the center out, but like, nah. Like, you could do, so like 6x6 centers, like, that's like my favorite thing ever, because, so like, you can build really weird stuff. This comes from like practicing, like experimenting, which is how I figured all this out, and you can too, by practicing. But like, you can build like these 2 bars on top, like these 2. Or you can start by building the middle 2 bars and then going out. And like, you can build a bunch of 2x1s, which seem inefficient because you're only putting together 2x1s, but like on 6x6, they're like already made all of the time. So like 6x6 is more of not, you don't want to go into 6x6 being like, I'm gonna do bars this solve, or I'm gonna make a 2x2 block. You just like look and you kind of see what's the best, and then you do that. So like, it's really important to do what I call like freestyle centers, where like, you just kind of got to guess what the best thing is. And it's really important on 6x6 and 7x7, because 7x7 you should also do freestyle centers, to experiment a lot, because I screw up 6x6 centers all the time because I'm trying to do something weird. But like when I was making 2x4 blocks a while ago and I was trying to do that a lot, I'd mess it up all the time, but now I don't, because I messed it up like 1,000 times. So now I'm good at it. That's really important. You gotta screw it up 1,000 times, and then you'll get really good at it, and you won't anymore. So yeah, 6x6 is all this freestyle. 7x7 is pretty similar. The 2x5 blocks are like really tricky. I'm not that good at them because I haven't messed it up 1,000 times, only like 300. Another trick for 7x7 centers is like, if you're making bars, it's like generally good to make, especially your second center, make the middle bar first. Because if you make the outer bars and you have like middle pieces stuck on the middle bar, you'll have to do slice moves to pull them out, and that sucks because it's 2 moves instead of 1, and that's really slow. So in general, you want to avoid slice moves and stuff like that. So like, let's see. All right, edges. Edges are not like centers because centers are easy and fast. So edges suck. You want to go like, you want to always be looking for your next piece. So like 5x5, you should always like, okay, so here's a general tip. You can do it on 5, 6, or 7. I do it on 6 and 7 currently. The faster you are, the less like helpful it's going to be because of the way it works. So like on 6x6, the first 4 edges I make, I put them on the top. So I put up the first 4 on the top, and then once I make 4, I flip it over, and I know that all the pieces I'm looking for are either on the top or on the edges. So you never have to look at the bottom again, and that makes your first 4 edges just as fast as normal, except for the fact that sometimes you have to flip it over to insert, so it takes like a half a second instead of a quarter of a second. And then the next 4 are like really easy. I do that on 6 and 7. If you're not under like 120 on 5x5, it's probably better as well because the time you're saving by not looking for the edges is a lot more than you're wasting by putting them on the top. But the faster you get, obviously, the less the ratio becomes. Okay, so more specific tricks. 5x5, it's really common when you're realigning. So when you make the first 8 edges and you work on the last 4, your centers are all like this. And then you'll be like wanting to realign them and you'll see, oh, but these 2 pieces right here are matched up. I should realign the bottom and then flip this so I save it. Wrong. You're gonna flip that and save it, but then you're gonna realize that was pointless because 90% of the time, if you just realigned it, something else is already gonna happen. It's like two pieces are almost always matched up on 5x5 centers, so there's no reason wasting time deliberately making 2 match up when it's already gonna happen. Also, 5x5 last 4 edges. So the best thing you can look for is when you have, like, I don't know if you can see it, but like the 2 outer pieces are the same and the middle piece is wrong, because you can do M, U2, M prime, and that solves it. That's really, really fast. So that's the first one you want to look for. And then the next best thing, or that's the one you want to look for. Also, if there are no 2 pieces matched together, which I said is very unlikely, but obviously happens, you just do just an M, U2, M prime, and then you'll have 2 matched together, guaranteed, I think. I mean, I haven't mathed it, but I doubt it's possible to not. So yeah, do that. And then when you get to the last 2 edges, go to Christy Aces' website and memorize all the algorithms. Because like sometimes some of the 5x5 is nice because even though there's parity, some of the parity cases are stupid easy and are like almost just as fast as not having parity. So like it's really important to know all your algorithms because like they're really fast and you don't want to waste 3, like if you don't know your algorithms, it can take like 8 seconds to do the last 2 edges when it should never take you more than like 3. Yeah, 6x6. Well, edges for 6x6 and 7x7 are important because like it's also a big common thing is like you like finish one edge and then you pull the next edge down and you're like, I'm gonna do green and white. I have 1 green and white piece in the E layer. I gotta look for all 3 other ones. No, that's really stupid. You should pull it, you should like, while you're gonna put the next piece in, like there's almost always gonna be 2 in the same layer because 6x6 and 7x7, 7 especially. 7x7 edges should feel like you're getting lucky every time because that's just how the cube is, like something's always just gonna be matched up. It just like should always feel like, oh, this is kind of nice. That's just how it works. 6x6 less so, but you should always be looking for at least 2 already set up. Also, say you have 2 and you see like there's already 3 somewhere else. Switch from the 2 to the 3. Like don't get too attached. You don't care. It's not like your high school girlfriend. You don't need to stay with this edge. You can ditch it and you can go to this new edge which has 3 pieces already made instead of 2, so it's better. So yeah, go to that. Don't get too attached to that stuff. Oh, a trick I forgot to mention in 6x6 is if you're building one center, and like this is really complicated. Like it gets really, really confusing really fast. So only do if it's like really easy. If you're building like your first two centers, which are like white and yellow, and orange is like 3 moves away from 2 bars, do the 2 bars and then save it and then finish yellow. Like it's gotta be really easy because it's really easy to screw it up, like building yellow while you're saving orange. That's like a really advanced trick that I tried to use a ton, but then it got really weird. So now I only use it when it's really easy, but it's still really nice when it's really easy. You can look at the current 6x6 single world record for an example. Let's see. Yeah. 6x6, cool trick that I'll give credit to Dan Cohen. You guys should all know who Dan Cohen is. He was the old me. He was really cool. One sec. Okay, so when you get to like your last edge on 6x6, you can get parity like this. So there's a couple things that can happen when you get this parity. You can either do outer parity by doing parity on these two, or you can do inner parity by like slicing just the middle one. Now, you won't know at the time when you get it because the cube won't be solved like this, or else that'd be like insane. So you wanna, if you say you do white cross and you get parity, pure parity on a yellow piece, don't solve it right now. Finish F2L, and then when you get to OLL, like right now you can see if I did outer parity like this, I'm gonna get an OLL parity and then have to do parity again. But if you do the slice move parity, you're gonna cancel OLL parity. So that way you can make it so like, sometimes you can do 3 parity hours on 6x6 if you do parity at edge parity, OLL parity, and PLL parity. But if you wait until you get to OLL to do edge parity, you only can ever get 2. This only obviously works. It works every time if you're color neutral, because you can just force it to be on the last layer. But I only do it if it's on yellow, and I happen to get it because I know, because you can also use your last 2 edge 5x5 cases on the last 2 6x6 edges. So a lot of times I just do the parity combined with the last edge. But if it happens, it's much better to wait. 7x7 for last 2 edges. I guess sometimes people ask me, I solve the middle 3 like 5x5 and then the outer set like 5x5 again. You can use your last 2 5x5 edge cases on that. I'm sure you could memorize all 7x7 last 2 edge cases, but that'd be a pain. And I hate memorizing algorithms. Oh, quick general tip, which people don't like to listen to. If you're memorizing an algorithm set like OLL, the best way to do it, in my opinion, is to stop cubing, memorize every single one, and then start cubing again. So that way when you get there, you're like, man, I know this. And that takes forever, but you do it. That way you're not like, man, I think I know this case, but I might not have learned it yet. And then you're practicing like half the cases and whatnot. It like really sucks, and it's terrible, and you're gonna hate yourself while you're doing it, but it's so much better. And that's what I did like forever ago, and I hate learning algorithms now because of that. That's mostly all I got. I also only have like 4 minutes out of the 20, so I can take like 2 questions. If anyone has any questions. You. Oh, okay. I have a great tip about turning M slices on the big cube. You just don't do it because you try to avoid that. That's like, it's very important. Like, always do your middle. Always like pair your inner centers first, because that way you won't have to do slice moves and stuff like that. You just always want to avoid M slices because there's no way to do it fast. They just suck. My favorite big cube is 6x6, obviously, because it's the best, and no one else is that good at it, except for Felix now, which is annoying. You see, you're wrong there. What? Oh, do you have a follow-up? Let's see, I don't know. But I remember when a 7x7 solve took me the entire 30-minute lunch period, and I thought that was still kind of fun, so I'm just a weirdo. So just like practice. Yeah. I don't know, I could do like an average of 30 on 6x6 still, which is, I think it's like an hour and a half, it's not that long. Yeah. No, always be color neutral on edges because it's way faster. So. Oh yeah, so I do regular edges on E and I do last 4 on M because I think it's better. It's like up to personal preference on the original 8 people do on M. I think E is better, but I'm not really sure. Okay, I'll take 3 more questions. Who did I already call on? The one guy that I didn't already call on. Yeah. Sub 2 on 5x5. Oh my god, that was a long time ago. Practice. Oh wait, no, I know. Don't do homework or have a social life or a girlfriend. And then with all your free time that you have because of those things, just do Rubik's Cube. Yeah, that's it. Alright. 2 more. Oh god. You look really excited. Okay, I'll be brutally honest here, Cube is pretty stupid. Megamix is kind of cool. I used to average I'm like a 120 official average, but I did it this week and I got like a 150, which is slower than my 6x6 average, so that was pretty funny. Paramix is kind of cool, but then the tips seem so annoying. They're just random and they don't actually affect anything. And then square one, parity, I just kill myself. I already hate 4x4 because parity makes the standard deviation so high, but when your solve is only 11 seconds and parity takes 1.5, god, that'd be awful. All right, one more. Someone jump up and down so I can pick the last question. Who's the most excited? Oh, this kid, orange. Oh, Felix, orange jacket. Oh, is that the same one with Press's face on it? That's so weird. Oh, yeah, I'm not very good at this. Throughout your stage, so sometimes if you're troublemaking cross, go this really fast, and then see all the cross pieces at once, because that's what you should do. And then, because a lot of times I just start building cross, I have to look for it at the same time, but if you can see all of them and plan the cross really fast, that makes it a little better. Also, there's some cool algorithms like the R2, the weird E perm that's only 2 gen, or a lot of sexy moves. And then there's a lot of R2 F2D, or a lot of R2 RUF G perms. PLLs like that are really bad. Oh, biggest tip ever. I'll leave you with this. So, when you get, one sec. Okay, so when you get this case on OLL and you're on a 6x6 solve that's really, really fast, because it only shows up when it's really, really fast, make sure you do wide F like this. And then you do the really bad OLL case, because then you'll get a world record, because it's happened twice to me so far.